Welcome everyone to another Krebs Coho replay cast. This time around we're going to be doing a 2v2 on your guys' favorite map for 2v2. That would be Duclair. Oh man, so many of you guys love this map. Indeed, just take a quick 360 around and take a look at this glorious field because honestly, you guys love this map. I love this map myself. It's perfect for 2v2. Alright guys, so what are we going to be looking at today specifically? We've got a matchup of a Brit, an American, versus two Wehrmacht, okay? I've got a few messages I'd like to tell you guys. I believe maybe two, maybe three messages. But we'll get the game started and then I'll continue talking as I usually do. I mean, come on, would I ever stop talking? That would just be plain old wrong. Right, we're at the 5-second mark and we're going to be starting in 3 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1, and go! 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so on we go for another matchup in the Company of Heroes realm. Right, so I've got a few messages I'd like to tell you all of you guys. A quick shout out to my Facebook group. I recently opened up a Facebook group for the channel. That will be a good place for you guys to get the heads up on any new casts that come out, and also to ask you guys questions, what you'd like to see next, so you guys can provide any criticism, so on and so forth. We've already got quite a few people on there, but I'd like to obviously see a lot more of you. It's just connecting this community and giving everyone an opportunity to speak out what they would like to see. Okay, what's the second point? I completely forgot the second point. Okay, and on to the third point. My third point is that this is actually going to be featuring a bunch of Polish people, okay? The people I'm looking at the moment, Exit and Exit, the Exit people are all Polish, so hopefully I'm going to say this right, but to będzie moje appreciation cast dla wszystkich Polaków out there. And so what I just said there was this is going to be my appreciation cast for all the Polish people out there. Okay, obviously I can't speak Polish perfectly, but if you guys know anything about me, I'll let you guys know right now. Both of my parents are Polish, however I was not born in Poland, so I think that makes my blood Polish. And so, technically, yes, I am Polish then. So there you go. Obviously, you can't tell by the accent, but this is how I have grown up, right? So I can speak a little bit of Polish. It's mostly broken, but I can understand it completely. I can comprehend it. And so throughout this cast, there will be Polish commentary, which I will try my best to translate. Won't happen all the time because I don't understand it perfectly, but I will try to do it as it comes, okay? So I believe there is a second message out there, but I can't exactly remember what it even is. So, oh yeah, I now remember. Okay, so the second message quickly before we get on to all this action. You guys can already see what's happening down south, and down in or up north as well. Some pioneers being chased away. The second message is, would you guys like to see a newbie replay? Okay, that is a very strange question I'm putting forth for all of you. But it's kind of an interesting one because I've had a few people saying that, you know, a lot of these replays that I show are for experts, and the reason I do that is I only basically show intermediate or advanced intermediate and above replays. Only reason I do that is so it keeps everyone happy. I mean, newbies can learn from it, the experts like to watch it, entertains them, so on and so forth, so they can see new strategies, etc, etc. However, if we're going to be doing a newbie replays, the expert community and the intermediates and so on and so forth are going to sort of lose out from that. However, I got a replay sent in from me, to me, from well, it's actually a decent game. It's quite intermediate, and you can tell the people are quite good. However, they lack in some areas. And now I think it would actually be a perfect replay to do in terms of, you know, talking about what they could do better and so on and so forth. I mean, it's not a horrible game. There is action, and it's quite non-stop as well. But, you know, obviously there's places to improve. So I was thinking maybe I could do this for you guys. So if you would just please let me know in the comment box below the description and let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see a sort of newbie replay and me commentating on what they could do better and so on and so forth? And that would be cool. Right, so let's get on to the replay. This is user submitted, so this is by the Polish people. The Polish people have sent it in. And now let's talk about the actual stats of these people. Okay, so let's see. The Brit player is IIEXITIIAdadis. Alright, and he is a level 13 Brit in 1v1. He's 15 in US and 13 in Wehrmacht. Okay, that's pretty cool. The US player, so let's go find him. He's somewhere around here. The US player is Exit Mordo 47, and he is a level 15 American, okay? And let's see, for the Wehrmacht, we've also got MarinezReborn, so everyone knows Marinez, and he is a level 13 of Wehrmacht in 1v1. And also NewportReborn, which I was not able to actually find. So maybe in the space in between this game and this actually coming out, this replay, maybe he's deleted his account. That's my only prediction. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay, so it looks like the Americans and the Brits, the allies in general, are managing to hold the center side along the northern side, taking some harassment, and the southern as well. However, we have sandbags coming down from, I believe, probably the Volksgrenadiers, and now it's being used against the Volksgrenadiers. Okay, so Adadis is saying Dawaj Środek, 0 fuel. Okay, so hopefully I'm saying this right, but he's saying give me Środek, or go to the side. I believe it's something like that. Alright, so that's some of my translation going on there. I'll keep on doing this for you guys, translating as the best I can, but obviously I can't do everything. We've got a bunker coming down right on the fuel on the south side, which is very neat to be doing that. Obviously it can't be destroyed right now because there's just far too much health, but this is most likely just taking a look at how the positioning of it looks like. It's most likely going to be an MG bunker. The reason I say that is because look at all the fences here and along the side over here, and basically the only way inside is through the hole, the big gaping hole in the fence towards that fuel point. So that leaves the MG bunker a very good job to actually take it out until, say, lighter, or not absolutely light vehicles, but medium vehicles and above can actually crush that fence. Then it doesn't even mean anything. Likewise, explosives or flamethrowers could actually do the job. Sniper out by Marinez. Let's take a look at what's happening in terms of build orders. We've got a barracks coming out for the first thing for Mordo, and a back-teching to the WSC straight away. Interesting, he's not even going for Splyard. Also, Adadis saying Kurva bunker. Okay, now the one very observant thing I have for a lot of Polish people in general is that they love to swear, and maybe if you know any Polish words, the one you should know is probably kurwa, and it is a very bad word. It's equivalent to the F word in English, and so yeah, you can, a lot of times when you hear Polish people speak, this will be actually very common in their linguistics. They will use that word, the K word, kurwa. Right, so a bunch of Wehrmacht up here. 2 snipers is very cool. That looks very nice. Unfortunately, one of those snipers does not look that nice right now, landing on a mine and being taken out. So it looks like a rifleman squad was actually taken out there. So Marinez has gone for his Wehrmacht quarters. Switching on over to Marinez, let's see what's happening with this big boy. And he has gotten a few Volksgrenadiers and 2 snipers. One of them is dead now, however. Newport as that WC, or sorry, not the WSC, the Wehrmacht quarters as well. And he's just going to be fighting along the south side. So switching on over to Newport, seeing what he has. He has a few MGs, a few Volks, and a sniper. So I'm not even sure if they're at T2 yet. I believe, yes, no, whoa, they're already at T2. He's already, Newport is already going on up to the assault phase. So pretty cool that he's doing that. So he's skipping right up to T3. Could that mean that Marinez is going to be going for T2? It's actually quite likely, so we'll have to see what comes out of that. The south side is pretty much in the hands of the Wehrmacht. However, if you guys know Duclair is notorious on how much you can easily get cut off, especially on the south side. Okay, this place over here, as you guys can see, the single manpower point being captured, and it's about to cut off literally every single point that exists over here. Okay, so not looking good for the Wehrmacht. Oh god, one Volksgrenadier squad going down, another one going down, 2 Volks going down, or is that an MG team of some sort? It looks like it, and that could be the sniper as well. Wow, look at Newport. He literally lost everything. He lost the MG, a sniper, and a Volks. Oh my gosh, and he's about to lose a... he lost a Pioneer. He literally lost about 2/3 of his army there. Volks, MG, sniper, and Pioneer. Huge loss. So just by being cut off down here by both allies, the Brits and the Axis, they came in along the sides. basically blocking off the retreat path of the Wehrmacht and coming along the sides over here. Barbed wire already down, so this lone Volksgrenadier squad couldn't get away, and that just meant a huge, absolute demise of the Wehrmacht down south. So Newport is struggling to hold on in here at the moment. He only has literally a Pioneer Volksgrenadier and a MG42, which is nothing. At 9 minutes in the game, that really is nothing. Okay, so he doesn't have anything else. He's actually going up to the battle phase. Very surprising in my opinion. Going up to the battle phase, he's skipping T2 and T3 altogether. That's very interesting. Okay, now we have a stormtrooper squad and also a sniper right here, and the snipers are fending off against each other. They all know that they're right in front of each other, okay? So that's very surprising that he's skipping on up to T4. We almost never see that by the Wehrmacht player, so it's very interesting that he's going to be doing that. I'd like to see what Marinez is going to be doing. He's actually gone for Blitzkrieg Doctrine because you can already see those stormtroopers out. So that's interesting. I don't think he would go for T2 in that case then. So yeah, the Polish people are saying commandos, and the other one is saying ja pierdol. Okay, pierdol is another bad word. I don't know, I'm telling you guys, but something with Polish people is that the linguistics is just so orientated around swear words. It's just some sort of way of emphasizing their points. Pierdol, ja pierdol. Oh jeez, I don't even know how to translate that one. It's basically like, oh shit. Basically something like that. But a little bit worse. You could consider it if you're going to be doing it on scales of what is worse. So there you go. That bunker was taken out, and that was just by the Fast Steward, by Adadis. And so what we have is that headquarters command truck parked on the munitions point over here, and we actually had the field support truck that was planted on it as well just a little bit earlier, but now it's actually relocating itself and most likely going to be going down to the fuel point down here, I imagine. But you know, it'd be really nasty right now. I know the Brits are probably a bit hesitant about doing it, but say if they park their HQ right here on this munitions point, that would actually deny that point from being captured. But I think they're a bit reluctant to do that because it is a bit close, and if they did get chased away, then well, that could be a very difficult position to be in. Okay, so standoff right here by a bunch of guys. Everyone is focus firing on the MG squad. Oh, Olympic jumpers! Olympic jumpers indeed. Going flying right on into the air, and so that MG squad is gone. But all in all, territory wise, it's about half for everyone. If you look down on the tactical map, it is literally just half. So it's pretty cool that the Wehrmacht have actually managed to stay in the game as long as this, despite how the Newport lost so many guys, 2/3 of his army obliterated in that southern skirmish. Okay. So we've just got a bunch of skirmishing going on over here as well, and these stormtroopers are just waiting out here. I imagine they might be waiting because they might throw a grenade or something like that, just my opinion. We've also got that field support truck down south, which is parked on that fuel, so it only makes sense. Commandos out for the Brits, so obviously that is the Royal Commandos. He's going along the left-hand side. Yep, he's going along the left-hand side. And so that could mean that he would go on to Tetrarchs and the HQ glider, but a lot of people like to go for commandos, then move along the right hand side and get the decoy eventually. Also the triangulation, the ultra decryption. Right. I tell you guys, after doing so many casts, 75 episodes in fact, you really do start to memorize just how these build order trees look like. Probably a lot of you guys don't memorize every single one for every single faction. However, by this point of the game, I've literally just got all of them perfectly, almost perfectly, in order in my head. It's pretty damn cool, but that is the beauty of doing casts. Definitely helps you learn from this game. Not only just playing the game and learning from that, but doing casts alone can actually help you learn as well. So, what are the Wehrmacht going to do? We have this middle point being captured by the Allies, the Commonwealth in fact, and this is where Newport is coming back into existence. The Panzer Command, he's skipping on right up to the Knights Cross holders, and he's also getting infantry veterancy out, so you can see that on the Volks and also the Knights Cross holders. So this is a very heavy infantry, anti-infantry strategy right now. Okay, so we've got a bunch of anti-infantry capability at the moment. The Knights Crossholders are going to be perfectly able to combat these commandos. The commandos got to be a bit careful. I mean, the Knights Crosses get heroic armor, which is just a whole league of its own, so very deadly to take on. Also, the Panzer Command is going to be absolutely superb because, you know, the fact that Newport has so much anti-infantry at the moment, the Allies, the Polish people are saying Widzę, which means see. I can see. You can see something, so most likely something is being pointed out on the map. But the beauty about having the Panzer Command out is that you can get all these Knights Crossholders and such, but also you can get tanks. I mean, you can get late game tanks. They're literally right there. Sniper going down on the mine. This has not been great for Marinez and Newport snipers. They've just been falling down for mines in this game. It's so unfortunate. Just literally falling down on mines. Just trying to stray away from the rest of the group, but instead dying. So I think the lesson to be learned here is keep your sniper back and let your guys take the mine shots. So you can already see these Knights Crossholders, so hardy as they are, taking so much damage from those mines, but not even dying. 3 guys in the squad, they can crash into mine and not even lose a single guy. Only thing they gotta be careful of is flames. Flames is their worst enemy, and so by having a engineer squad with flamethrower there, not good. Panzer IV coming out from the Wehrmacht. So already the Panzer IV is out. Very good. Just in time because we have Adadis with his Cromwell out. So the Panzer IV will be the counter to the Cromwell, and the Cromwell is slightly worse than the Panzer IV. You can sort of think of the Cromwell as the British Panzer IV, however the Cromwell is worse than the Panzer IV, right? So let's see what else is happening. We have the, well, there has to be the armored command truck out somewhere, so I'd actually like to find that beast, and here it is. It's in fact right here on this map PowerPoint. For what reason, I don't actually know, but fair enough. Maybe he's just trying to keep it close to the battlefield. Really, I'd like to see that a bit elsewhere, maybe on a munitions point, but fair enough. Anyway, Newport has still not selected a doctrinal ability, but however, Marinez has his Blitzkrieg, and Mordo has the infantry doctrine. That's pretty cool. So he's gone on down the right hand side and also the left hand side as well, because he has both Rangers and the howitzer shoot. If he keeps on going down the right hand side, you'll get the howitzer itself, and if he keeps on going down left hand side, he will get the off map combat group eventually, right? So there you go, memorizing these tech trees just all in my head. You can see them literally, visual sort of thing. I've got a visual memory, and that's really interesting. A lot of people will learn differently, but I've actually got a visual memory. I can actually picture how this sort of stuff looks like. So finishing off with Adadis, he has the Royal Commandos, and obviously you can see those commandos out slightly earlier. So a bunch of skirmishing going on in the center side. We've got the MG42 suppressing all these guys, and now he's falling back because he can recognize that he's being circled by or flanked by quite a few guys. So he's going to fall back a bit, just give his cone a wider range. And so we've got some blitz assault grenades coming out from Newport. So does Newport actually have the Blitzkrieg doctrine? I don't believe he does. The unique thing with the Knights Crossholders is that they can actually lob assault grenades. It's a unique ability to themselves. They can actually use it without having the Blitzkrieg doctrine. However, I do believe that their assault grenades are a little bit worse than the actual doctrinal ones. I don't think they continuously come out, so on and so forth. Adadis is saying Checkum na FF, so he is waiting na FF for FF. What is FF? He is waiting Adadis. Let's go on over to Adadis. What is he? He is the Royal Commandos. So what is FF, guys? It's not Tetrarchs, it's not Ultra Decryption, it's not Triangulation, it's not Decoy Artillery. I have really no idea. He's waiting for an FF. I don't know if this is like different in the Polish translations of the game. Maybe they have the words slightly different and somehow the first 2 letters are F. Maybe it's that, but he's waiting for FF, apparently. FF is on the way. Panther out by Martinez. Panther. So what the heck? Both of them have skipped up to the T4. I've never seen this strategy used by the Wehrmacht. I've never, ever seen this. In pretty much every single game, I've seen people skip on up to T3, combine it with T2, something like that. But for both players to actually go for T4 is very surprising in my opinion. But the strategy works. That's the thing. One of the players can just skip literally right on up to T4, get some Knights Crossholders out, and the other person can go for Blitzkrieg and get some Panzerschrecks out with the Stormtroopers. So it does make sense, it could work, and it's very fun to actually see that. So a bunch of Knights Crossholders here with the Veteran C2, how are they going to fare? Not too well, actually. They're actually falling apart, the Knights Crossholders. They're killing loads of guys, of course, but they're taking quite a lot of damage indeed. One actually going down. He should have been retreating that squad. Whenever you're noticing a squad falling very rapidly on health, you can sort of tell that it's being focused fired on. So whenever your squads are losing health very rapidly, get it the heck on out of there. Commandos, are they dead? No, they're not. So just staying in that building for whatever reason, probably just not noticing that. The Cromwell is just gone, the Panther managing to chase away, and now the tank wars are about to begin. So let's take a panoramic view of what's happening along the field at the moment. We've got a bunch of riflemen coming alongside here, just about to take out this MG. The Sherman is running away, and we've also got a Firefly out by Adadis. So you can tell by the income rate of the Brits that they have quite a lot, 56 for the munitions and 38 for the fuel. Going on over to Mordo, he has 56, 38 just the same. Marinez 27-21, and Newport 27-21 as well. Obviously they're teams, okay? And so that means that well, obviously you guys can already tell that the allies have a lot more in terms of resources, which is a bad thing for the Wehrmacht. Adadis is saying naprave, and he is saying that basically means that he's going to repair his tank. I believe he's going to repair it. Which tank I don't actually know. Maybe it's around here somewhere. Who knows? Okay, so he's going to be repairing it. These squads over here in the center are taking a lot of damage. They're on exhaustion right now, so most likely because they were using some sort of heroic charge with the lieutenant, and now they are on the exhaustion state, meaning they shoot slower and they are also slower at moving, but they are suppressed by the MG, still reluctant from moving because they know that they could possibly take this MG out, and yes, it is going to get away, so well done to the MG, just barely managing to get out of there. So what we have in the center is quite interesting. We have actually a Stuart Light little tank from earlier, and we also have a Staghound. Now that is interesting indeed. The Staghound, you can think of it, well, it actually replaces the Cromwell command tank. The Staghound is an anti-infantry specializer, if you want to call it that. It's sort of looks like the T-17. Well, actually it looks a lot like the T-17. However, it's a bit of a better version than that. However, a lot of people don't actually like the Staghound. They actually think that the Cromwell command tank is a better tank to go for. The reason being that, well, it speeds up the firing rate of all your other tanks, and so you gotta sort of think about it, that the Sherman Firefly, for example, gets a speedier fire rate of about 30%, which is a lot to consider. That is a lot more shots getting fired out much quicker, and that could be a huge difference. Not only are you shooting faster, but you're also shooting faster than the other tank who you're versing, so that could be literally the difference between life and death. So that is the reason why a lot of people like to go for the Cromwell command tank instead. Just a little bit of skirmishing going down along the south side, mostly just infantry based, but the tank wars are in the center. Now this is where the standoffs happen, because we have a bunch of Panthers and Panzer IV versus a bunch of anti-tank tanks. So Sherman and a Firefly as well, and the Sherman is upgunned, so that means he's going to be doing more penetration, less of a bigger blast against infantry, but more penetration against tanks, so more devoted against tanks. Still, they're not bad at killing infantry, even though they might be upgunned. Don't worry about that. Landing on the mine, yet the Knights Crossholders are still okay. Very frustrating position to be in for the Wehrmacht, because the Wehrmacht, as everyone knows, is that they have a very difficult time of healing up their squads. They have to spend about 40 munitions or so to actually get a healing kit, and that's on an individual squad, which makes it very painful to very costly to actually heal up squads. So a good idea, and obviously this won't happen all the time, but a good idea is to actually have your teammate as a Panzer elite player, so when they get defensive operations, you can actually put your guys near their forward HQ, near their buildings, and you can actually get your guys healed up near them, and so it just becomes a unison of team efforts. And so that is very good idea for the Wehrmacht player to actually team up with a Panzer elite player, so it's just working together. together. And so, bunch of Knights Crossholders. Newport is really not giving up on these Knights Crossholders. He's absolutely loving them, in fact. We've also got the Terror Doctrine selected by the Wehrmacht Newport. So it looks like he's going down along the left-hand side of the doctrinal tree, and he is probably going to be going for, well, a King Tiger eventually. So what a lot of Terror Doctrine people do is they actually try and save up for the King Tiger and let that King Tiger be the difference between winning and not winning. So the stat count and the stewards chasing down these guys. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So what was just infantry wars down here is being changed slightly because we have light vehicles changing that battle. So the stat count for some reason is chasing these guys literally right into the base. So this could mean that the Knights Crossholders might have to throw off a few Panzerfaust. Can Knights Crossholders actually do that? I believe they can actually use Panzerfaust. However, that is quite a costly thing to do. Please don't hold me to that, but I don't know, I got that feeling that they could actually do that. Instead, what we have is stormtroopers coming for the rescue. Coming in for the rescue, and that's Crossholder going down. Not close enough. Not good. Not a good job, Superman. And so what we have is that the Wehrmacht are pushed from the center. No, 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 no. So they fell back. The Wehrmacht were in the center, and now the Sherman Firefly and the Sherman itself have actually pushed in on 2 Panthers and a Panzer IV. That is surprising, probably due to there being just the infantry with the Piats. That is going to help a lot in terms of combating these actual heavy tanks that the Wehrmacht have to offer, and so everything is sort of falling apart for the Wehrmacht at the moment. However, we got a flanking bit of guys along the center side, and now we've also got just a bunch of tanks from Newport and Knights Crossholders, and everything is falling apart for the Allies. So indeed, a very big reversal. Some sort of artillery looks like it's going to be coming down. Is it going to be real? No, it's just going to be a decoy and it's just chasing away everyone. Alright, so there we go. The center is going back into the hands of the Wehrmacht, so just a big push from the flanking side by Newport meant that the Allies had to retreat entirely. Good job. So loads of veterancy out for the Knights Crossholders and also the Panthers. So that's very good, getting their MG42 upgrade, so on and so forth. Harder to kill, taking less damage. Yep. Good stuff. And now the medics are taking up a bunch of guys. We just need one more guy and they get a free infantry section. So that medic, the casualty clearing center, not only is it good at healing when you activate the ability, but also picking up guys. So it has a double role, which is pretty damn cool. Let's see what else is going on. Just a bunch of damaged Panthers, but still the standoff for the Wehrmacht. Alright. Ale kurwa ja się zrobiły. Okay, so he is saying, Adadis is saying, oh god. Now all of you guys know that kurva is the bad word, but sometimes it can be used in different situations. It's not strictly the F word. He's saying, what a screwed up position, what a effed up position he has made himself into. That is what the Brit is saying about himself. But I wouldn't really say it's a horrible position. I mean, he still has a lot of guys. It's just that he had to retreat. That's pretty much all that happened. So 203 points for the Wehrmacht and 450 for the Allies. The Wehrmacht are really trying to get back in on the fight, but oh my gosh, mines are literally right beside the Volksgrenadiers. There we go, crashing right on into them and retreating right away. Mines set up along there as well, and oh man, we've got some mines along here as well. So this is just the defensive operations by the infantry doctrine, allowing the riflemen to place down defensive structures and also mines. So this lone rifleman squad is probably being that pesky man who's actually going to be putting down all these mines. So the points literally outside of Newport's base are being captured, which is not good. I don't like that. I mean, these points should literally be in your hands. They should not be turning it into the opponent's hands. It's just not meant to be like that. 2 Panthers just chasing away the tanks down here. Oh man, one more shot could have taken it out. I think they should have focused fire on the stat count, which was already damaged, because I believe 2 shots from those Panthers could easily have taken that stat count out. But instead, focused firing on the little Stuart, and now they both got away. So that looks, both tanks are going to need repaired now. Okay, so bunch of fighting happening on the center, but man, the action is non-stop. Taking a panoramic view here, let's see what's going to be happening. Just a bunch of squads in the center side. tons of Piets, 3 Piet squads in fact, and also that Firefly. Man, this is going to be really hard for the Wehrmacht to take on. Those Pioneers are retreating, and we could see a mass blob of Pioneers, so that is most likely going to be the main repairing force, and we have a propaganda war forcing a retreat of all the Piets. That is absolutely excellent. Now, propaganda war, although it doesn't kill all the infantry, I mean, it doesn't kill them at all, it just forces them to retreat, so technically they haven't lost anything. What it does is it actually makes their position very, very weak. So retreating all those infantry meant that the Panthers could move in, but still, look at all these tanks out on the field. We have multiple Shermans, multiple Fireflies, and also Cromwell. Now this is going to be very hard to deal with. Now, forcing retreat of the Brits just meant that they could only retreat to their HQ, and now that is a very short distance. It's not the full distance like the American HQ. So there we go, the Piets are back on the field. And now this could have been a huge force to deal with for the Wehrmacht. If those Piets weren't propaganda warred earlier, you can imagine 3 Piet squads, 3 Piet squads in fact, and 2 upgun Shermans and also 2 Fireflies. Oh my gosh, that would have been absolute hell for 3 Panthers. Panthers absolutely great, but still, 3 of them against a mighty force like that would just be absolutely difficult to hold out against. So we have just a bunch of capping going along center now. So the center looks like it's being lost for the Wehrmacht and not looking too good. They need more anti-infantry, they need more MGs, more stuff to pin everything down, just prevent it from moving in. They also need a miracle. They also need to get these tanks on in, destroy the Fireflies. If they can actually just destroy them, that's a costly mistake, a costly loss for the Allies. So if they can like finish off this Sherman Firefly, for example, that's a whole bunch of its force gone. Also, likewise, the southern side is not seeing much attention. So look at this, totally unscathed around here. But we have a few stray squads just trying to move in and capture. Now here is going to be probably a game changer. 17 pounder. This is most likely not going to be destroyed because there's a bunch of guys right here. Sappers with their dual role at anti-tank and also repairing. Not looking too good for the Panther. Also got a artillery barrage coming down. So there we go. That's a 25 pounder artillery barrage landing right on top. And hopefully, this is going to be the game changer. This is the Tiger, out by Marinez. So obviously with his Blitzkrieg Doctrine, that is the Tiger. And also has that funny, cool skin for the Tank Ace campaign for completing it. So there we go. The Tiger is out in the field, and that is definitely like a Panther and a half. So hopefully that is going to be changing the tides of the war. But still, the 17 pounder is going to definitely change, well, at least negate that tide of the war changing, because look at the massive range of that 17 pounder, and also how it's a dedicated anti-tank anti-tank emplacement. So it's going to be difficult to even move in on this side now. Very bad position to be in. I don't like how this is all turning out for the Wehrmacht at the moment. One of the unfortunate things is that they don't have T2 and T3. They could probably get Nebelwerfers or Stukas at that point, but they don't have that ability to do that right now. Now, another neato thing is that one of these players, I believe it's Newport, actually has a Terror Doctrine, and if you had a V1 right now, or Firestorm, V1 especially, to land, say, along this area right here, that could definitely just destroy everything, okay? Landing right here could destroy the emplacement, and also it could force retreat these guys right on into the incoming V1. Likewise, that would also mean they'd have to be forced forward, which is into the oncoming lines of the Panthers. But that is, of course, if the V1 was selected and not the King Tiger. 91 points for the Wehrmacht, 450 for the Allies. Oh man, oh man, if the Wehrmacht are going to stay in this fight, they need to capture the points. Most likely the center is too far out of reach now, too heavily fortified, so this southern one is probably going to be the one that needs to be captured. But I'm not sure, do the guys recognize what is happening? We've got a bunch of stormtroopers coming in with cloak. Oh no! They were so close to taking out a Cromwell, but that was just too much to deal with, way too much. Now look at that, the 17 pounder doing mass damage on that Tiger. Look at that, against the Tiger, front armor as well, penetrating it with no problem. and doing huge amounts of damage. So the Tiger just got in there literally about 10-15 seconds ago, and now it is almost destroyed. 2 Sherman Fireflies and also that 17-pounder, way too much to deal with. And so this was meant to be a gigantic push, but we already see 1 Panther going down, Tiger taking huge damage, this other Panther just about gone, this Panther taking another amount of huge damage as well. It is not looking good for the Wehrmacht. This was meant to be a huge push, but the defensive lines of the Allies was just so much. Wow, look at this. We've got Vet 2 and Vet 3 rifleman squads, which means they do a huge amount of damage. They're just absolutely insane to take on, lots of accuracy. Also, a bunch of tanks blowing up across here, so panoramic view again. This is the last hope for the Wehrmacht, and they're losing a lot of their guys. They really are, man. Also got a King Tiger able to be called out by Newport, and looks like he's saving up for it and going to be calling it onto the field in just a moment, probably. Only 500 manpower to call it out, and is he calling it out? Doesn't look like he's actually doing that. It looks like he's actually going to be building something, in fact. I have no idea. Also, Goliath being built out of a bunker. Fair enough. Man. That was meant to be a gigantic push for the Wehrmacht. They were really just trying to do something there, but they were just literally going in to hell. They were just the center position is just much too fortified. Too many squads of anti-infantry and anti-tanks. Too many tanks. Too much that 17-pounder there. Just they literally were running into a brick wall, and it's just too much to deal with. If they were going to make that attack successful, maybe what they should have done was go along the south side and move up north and towards these lines destroyed the HQs. Likewise, they could also move along the northern side and towards the American base, because there is no heavy defensive there. There is no 17-pounder, so they'd have a much better chance at actually staying alive and doing some more damage. Stat count going down, but still huge losses for the Wehrmacht. 36 points left for them, not looking good whatsoever. And this is obviously most likely going to be a win for the Allies at this point. So let's see what's gonna happen with this inevitable fate of the Wehrmacht. Bunch of squads moving in, but not gonna be able to do anything. It's just way too much to deal with. We have a WSE heavy machine gun team right here, and that is going to be taking out these guys. We've also got Blitzkrieg Doctrine, or the Blitzkrieg ability activated for these guys, meaning they take less suppression, and so they weren't suppressed by the HMG, but still that is such a costly ability to use and not really managed to do anything. King Tiger is called out somewhere on the field at the moment, and there it is, a King Tiger, but only 14 points left on the ticker. The countdown is just way too much to deal with, and so Tigers are moving in, everything is moving in. The 17-pounder is gone, a bunch of tanks are falling apart. Literally, the Allies' lines are falling apart here. However, they are coming back in heavy numbers. I don't know. Maybe if the timer was still had a bit more time on it, if there was still more to the clock, then possibly the Wehrmacht could have made a comeback. But at this point, just not able to do anything. And so 1 point left, and that is everything over, and the playback is now over. So well done to the Polish Allies for winning that game against the Wehrmacht. Obviously good players indeed that they were playing against. Right, so where did the Wehrmacht go wrong? I think mostly just focusing too much on the center side. They lost focus of the southern side for quite a lengthy time in the game. They did capture it in the eventually, however, still in general just focusing so much on the center. The center is indeed important, but there's different ways of approaching it, such as through the north and such as through the south, where the lines aren't heavily as defended. So if they could have done this, for example, if even both of them split up and one went down along the south and one went along the north and went around avoiding the 17-pounder, so on and so forth, and came along the HQs, they could have actually, in my opinion, do a lot more of a dent. That's just what I think. Just basically disorganizing the Allies as best as possible, cutting them off, and hopefully that would have done something. But well done to the Allies for winning that. Not much else to say there, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this replay. Let me know. Comment below if you'd like to see me do a newbie game next, and just describe where they went wrong, so on and so forth, right? Alright, so until next time guys, hope you enjoyed this, and until then, well, have a nice day.